for the Women's March on Washington, the Georgia chapter, and I'm here with a group of women who are serving on the local teams throughout the state. I was wondering if you could introduce yourselves.
I'm Cassidy, and I'm on the creative team.
I'm Margot, and I'm with Atlanta Recruitment.
I am Marie, and I am on the business outreach team.
And I'm Macy, and I'm also on the creative team, and get to talk to these fine women here today.
And you designed the logo.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I'm just going to brag.
So I was wondering if you could tell me what the mission of the Women's March on Washington truly is.
Yeah, so I would say the mission of our group in general is just promoting women's rights. So it's pro all women. It's the idea that the closer we work together, the more we can accomplish. That, one voice you might hear a little bit, but with a lot, hundreds of thousands of voices, it's a lot easier to hear it. So it's just a pro all women march. It doesn't matter what political party you affiliate with. It's just it's for everybody, really. I mean, if you support women's rights, which hopefully you do because women are human, then it's for you. Yeah, isn't it weird?
So I'm getting a lot of questions from people when I tell them about what I'm doing, and they say, is it really inclusive? Ladies, is it?
I would say so.
Absolutely.
Inclusive of all races, all genders, all
sexualities, women with disabilities.
Exactly, all industries, because it's not just business women that are taking part in this. It's stay-at-home moms, it's entrepreneurs. I mean, it's not just women; it's also men. My husband is supporting me in the march, so I would say it's extremely inclusive. And what did you say? Inclusive, right?
Inclusive.
Yeah, extremely inclusive.
Truly inclusive.
Not exclusive.
Sure.
Yeah.
So why did you all get involved, not only in the movement, but on these teams?
So I guess for me, I'm an artist and a designer, and it's cool, of course once in a while I design like a billboard for a bank in Montana, but it feels a lot better to design something that is doing something, that's getting a message out. It feels good, and it feels like you're using the things you're good at to make change. And I think for me, like a huge reason that I got involved in this was I generally work in pretty male-dominated fields, and I'm good at elbowing my own way in there. So I kind of had this like Ayn Randian approach of like, we're all good, we'll take care of ourselves. And then I was like, whoa, I'm being real selfish, right? That like if we all elbow together, and being a person who is in a very comfortable position, it means like I can throw some bows for some other people.
Sure. How about you, ladies?
I joined the business outreach team because I wanted to make a difference when it came to the impact of what the march was doing and the business entity. I feel like more businesses that we can get to support the march, we will then get the support of women in more groups versus individuals. So being on the business outreach team was really important to me in that aspect.
For me, it was more about getting involved, actually doing something versus posting and saying and liking, but actually creating change or creating the world you want to live in. And I also wanted to meet more like-minded ladies that I could hang out with and bounce ideas off of and support each other and get that support back.
I think that's huge for a lot of people with this, is that like I haven't always been like I don't know, you can probably speak to this too, like sometimes as an artist you get invited to be in like, the women artist shows, and I was always like, ew, I want to be in like the art, or like just the artist shows.
The real show.
Exactly, like, oh cool, I'm a great woman artist, and now I'm like, yeah, I'm a woman artist.
Exactly. And I wanted to do something other than just be a marcher.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to, even if I weren't over a team or being a leader of a team, I would be a part of a team, because I wouldn't want to just show up to march. I want to be a part of the planning and a part of the execution, and then a part of the next, what are we going to do next planning. And so unless you have a seat at the table, you don't get a chance to do those things.
I don't know about for you all, but for a few days I couldn't speak. I couldn't talk to anybody, even people that really were reaching out to me, that loved me. And the moment I saw the call on Facebook, I don't even remember how I found it.
Right.
But I just thought, I can't not do this. And don't get me wrong, I love you all. I love all you sisters. But I've never had so many gal pals in my life.
Okay.
Women have kind of terrified me. I've always been, like you said, in a male-dominated industry, so I've always just status quo pushed my way through.
Yep.
act like a dude to get the respect that dudes get. So to be around women who feel similarly and in their different roles, it's been really empowering to like accept that being a woman is okay. Having joined, has anything about you changed since the moment you said, yes, I'm going to be committed to this movement?
I'll say my light of hope came back on. I cried all night, election night. My husband can attest to that. I just felt so hopeless. And I'm not even a hopeless type person. I am a type A, throw on my cape, get things done kind of person. And I really felt hopeless. And my sister-in-law actually sent me a text the next morning and was like, maybe 2 days later, and said, I heard these things are going on, check out this link. And sure enough, I sent a message to Lindsay. I think we were 2 days in, and I said, I don't know what I need to do, but sign me up. Sign me up and just let me know what my job is, because I really just wanted to be a part of it. Really wanted to.
What have you learned since becoming involved? Like, what's something that's not necessarily changed about you, but that's you learned different? That wasn't a part of your vocabulary before you started.
Two things for me, and I knew this before, but I've learned that we still have a ton of work to do as ladies. But it's a lot easier when you have so many people with you and behind you. What else have I learned? The main thing for me, I love the inclusive conversation that we always have on our calls. If it ever gets awkward, if someone has a question, we talk about it. So instead of putting issues of race and sexuality and everything else back in the closet, we discuss it and we work it out. And so that's been extremely helpful from my point of view.
Oh, absolutely. I'll say, just even from a race standpoint, my husband is Caucasian, but this was the first time I had ever had open, honest, no holds barred conversations with white women. And I was in the military for 10 years, so it's not, I mean, I have been locked in the closet away from white people, but this was the very first time in my life where the conversation was back and forth, not, one of, I would say how I felt, and the other person would feel, defensive, or feeling like they needed to defend their race. It's more like, hey, I didn't know you felt that way. Tell me more. What can I do to stop that feeling? Like that's the part that I share with most of my friends is, you would not believe the things we talk about. I mean,
it's real.
It's real. I mean, it's real. We've had white women to say, white privilege is real. Like, I didn't know how much I was using my white privilege. We've had white women to say, I don't know anybody brown, but listen, I'm glad I know you guys now. Fill me in on more. And I think that is the part that we have to do. We have to be more comfortable with. We have to get to know each other because we're all really just human.
Yes.
We're just different hues of human. And so to me, that's been the most inspiring. Like, these are some of the best conversations ever. I mean, the best.
I love that we're just all hues of women.
Yes.
Love that.
But I think that's what's going to create change after the march.
Absolutely.
The march is incredible and it's great and we all need to do it, but we have to keep going. After January 21st, we still have to keep pushing.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think, right now it's so obvious, the hurt that people feel. And again, it's not even so much about who you voted for or if you voted, but just the fact that sexism was such a huge part of this campaign.
Exactly.
In so many ways. That I think it's one cool thing that I think, has been laughed at a little bit, but is that people who've never done anything are doing things now. And in some way, that's sad. It's like, wait, where have you been?
Exactly.
But
we're glad they're awake.
Exactly.
Yes.
And
the point.
That's the best part. Yeah, is that people who maybe felt like it couldn't possibly be that bad are realizing, hey, okay, I need to do real stuff.
Exactly. Make real changes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I think what really hit home is I don't share my political views in general with most people. I do now. But especially at work. And I work remotely. I work from home, and offices are all over the United States, and I call in and have meetings a lot. And I've gotten to know people on an employee level, on a coworker level, and a lot of women. I work in K-12 education. I work with a lot of teachers and educators. And I was able to have conversations outside of work with the people that I work with, the women that I work with, to let them know what I was doing. Just sort of like, it's not even bipartisan, it's nonpartisan. It's a hopeful thing that I get to be doing. It's a positive thing I get to be doing. And one woman basically caught her breath as I was telling her this, and she said, I didn't know that there was something like this. She's in Florida. Her daughter's 13 years old, and she said, my daughter's terrified, and I want to share this with her because I think it'll give her something to hope for, and I don't know how else to help her. And then the report back a few days later was that her daughter had, been able to read about what this Women's March on Washington was, and it did give her something to believe in and to hope for her future. I was wondering if anything like that has happened when you've been sharing what you're doing as a part of this march.
I think one thing for me is that I realized in my family, there's, there are people who fall, in various sides of coins, but is realizing like you can talk about women's rights and everyone should be a part of that conversation. It doesn't matter who you voted for. There are things that aren't okay has been huge, I think, of having those conversations. And my grandpa is in his 80s, and he's a white Catholic man, and he loves this. And I love, like that's not the person that you would expect to be. And he's like every time I talk to him, he's like, oh, we're so proud of you.
Your grandpa is awesome.
He's a pretty neat dude.
We should have got him in on
Yeah.
Right. He needs it. He wants a T-shirt. So.
Oh, how sweet. I can feel it every single time we're on a call or I'm even doing something like setting this up. I can feel that ball of energy moving. And I know that we're only a small piece of it. And so I'm so excited for January 21st. I mean, I am going to be like, on Christmas, like,
So I know, Cassidy, you sort of spearheaded Nasty Woman Knits.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I like a thing that always has been close to my heart is the idea of using like traditional women's work to take down the patriarchy. Just makes me feel really good. Like there's something so empowering about it being, like the idea of like a bake sale for women's rights, like that just makes me feel good. So with the Nasty Women Knit, partially the idea is we want, it's going to be cold, right? It's going to be January, so we're selling T-shirts, which are a little bit more of the afterwards. We still got, we still have that message, but you won't see those at the march. And so the idea with this mustard yellow color, which is the color of Georgia State butterfly, and it's it's a hopeful color. It looks good on a lot of people. Is that if all the women at the march from Georgia are wearing a knit hat or a knit scarf or ear warmers in that color, you see, oh, there's the Georgians, which is good. And then on top of that, I think it gives. I have a couple of friends, so I've been knitting, and a couple friends, and then it's gotten big where a lot of women are doing it now, and it feels good to, again, like I was saying with. Taking things you're good at and doing them for a cause. So instead of just being like, well, I guess I'll knit some hats for Christmas, it's like they're gonna be, this is a message, and there's something really lovely about that, I think, and taking down the man with knit goods. I like that.
What is your hope beyond the march? I mean, the march is the 21st of January, and then what?
My hope is that we change the world. I know that's a big request, a big dream, but at least start change. That's my hope.
My hope is that we use this method, this tool that we are realizing that we have, and we use it to do whatever we want to do next.
Yes.
So if we're going to send 3 million postcards to a certain senator, all we have to do is send out a text.
Yeah.
That's my hope. If we want to change a piece of legislation that we have 3 million women writing letters to the same person. That's my hope. That when we want something changed, that we can bring all of these methods and tools that we have created, that we know we can do, bring them together to get exactly what we want. That's my hope.